Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is an Industry Chat night. This is John Young with the Disc Jockey News, and I am joined tonight by the one and only Ryan Berger of Mobile Beat. Good evening, Ryan.
Good evening. It's wonderful weather up here in Iowa. I know you get it even worse than we do up in Minnesota, so yeah. It's nice and cold.
It is. It's a little chilly, but you know what? It hasn't been the fall that we've. Of course, I think you've had a couple more snowstorms than we have. But this past weekend, I was actually out and able to go wash the car.
Wow! I was not worry about your car doors freezing shut.
Yes, exactly. That's typical. December should be freezing shut, but no. I was out there and it's like, oh, I can wash the car, and the birds are sick. It's like, wow, this is what the rest of the world, puts up with instead of this sub-zero stuff that we get to see in the winter side.
I know a friend of mine posted a picture of a dandelion that came up over the weekend. It's like, really? Great.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
Okay.
That'll be gone in here in another week or so. But gang, what we're going to be talking about tonight is the upcoming Mobile Beat Las Vegas show, which is coming up in March. And I wanted to kind of just spend a little time with Ryan tonight and talk about, what brought us to this point. For a lot of you, you may not be familiar with the whole thing. So this is going to be an introduction to you to the whole Mobile Beat and Las Vegas DJ experience that we're going to be having in March. And then for some of you, you barely know that there's publications like Disc Jockey News or the Mobile Beat magazine out there because you're living under a rock. Quit it.
It's these old-fashioned things that are paper instead of tablet scrolling and stuff like that. Yeah.
Exactly. Instead of a blog post that we do, oh wow, there's one, and there's one. so let's kind of go back in time, Ryan. So for those who aren't familiar with the start of Mobile Beat, let's take us all the way back to the beginning, and then let's kind of work our way through to when you got involved.
Okay. My disc jockey experience started about 5 years before Mobile Beat existed. In 1986, I started DJing. BC Productions was the DJ service, B for Berger and C for Curtis. He stepped out as about 1990. I was always the gear guy. I bought out some of his CDs, expanded my company. We get up to about 91. Mobile Beat is created by Bob Lindquist. Mike Bonacorso steps in real quickly. The trade show scene starts up in 97 with Las Vegas. That's why we're coming up on our 20th show and our 25th anniversary of the magazine. Some summer shows, but there's always Vegas. There's always the Vegas show. We get up to going on a DJ cruise. I went on a DJ cruise. The ones are organized by Debbie McKenzie in the fall of what would be 2005.
Yeah.
At the time, the guys from Mobile Beat were looking at getting out of the business, at least partially, and we start talking. And April 1st, 2006, April Fool's Day, we posted on the web that we had bought Mobile Beat, my corporation, with the help of the Small Business Administration and some other people. We purchased Mobile Beat magazine.
Now, you had your DJ company that you were doing the mobile events and such, but you also had kind of an online presence at that time. Is that correct?
Yep. Back in 1995. So just a little bit before the Mobile Beat trade show scene, we had ProDJ.com. Chat boards, education area. We're essentially the online magazine and community site and everything. That's probably how I first met yourself with kicking things up with Map DJ and your whole history of things. And started working with the guys from Mobile Beat heavily. I mean, we created their website for them. They went somewhere else. It came back to us. We started doing more stuff with it and got to be good friends with the two owners of the magazine.
Nice. So yeah, that really got you into the industry, and you had a very large spread, I guess, or kind of covering the industry at that time. So it really was kind of a natural progression, I think, to go from that web world to the magazine.
The information superhighway, as we called it. I remember there's video content out there. We'll get it out there so people can see it, of me doing my first seminar at the Mobile Beat Vegas show in 1997, and we talk about there being 10 million people online, or maybe it was 20 million at the time. There's not 10 billion or whatever, and how you need to have a website, and how if you wanted to, you could shop for DJ equipment online now.
Oh, that would be great to take some clips from that.
I'll send you a link to it.
Oh, that would be fun. So then in 2006, April 1st, okay, first off, I've got to ask, how many responses did you get where people saying, oh, is that an April Fool's joke?
There was a good amount of that. Chat boards were king at the time. And it was all over, but the word had gotten around a good amount before that. The industry players knew that this was going on because it was kind of a planned transition. We took our time with it and got things going. But yeah, it was an interesting conversation, posting on the chat boards from downtown Rochester, New York, the home of Kodak and all that stuff, posting that and then getting back to my hotel room and already having people cry foul.
Yeah, that's the DJ industry for us. Yay.
Yes.
So you started then in 2006, and then you because of putting on different conventions and such myself, that basically it becomes that almost 12-month process to get ready for the first large Las Vegas show in your case. How did going from basically not being involved to really involved, how did that work for you?
Well, I mean, I had always been more involved than the average exhibitor. We had always helped with promoting. I had a great relationship with Michael and Dan Walsh and Bob Lindquist. They had already set the location, being the South Point Hotel, for the next year's show. They had already, in conjunction with myself, announced doing a summer show out east. I think it was Cromwell, New Hampshire, Cromwell, Connecticut, whatever.
Yeah, Cromwell. Yep, I remember that.
So it had already started rolling. But yeah, I mean, the first year, I shook and moved some things around. I wanted to give it a little bit of my personality. At that Cromwell show, a guy who claimed to be the manager of Chubby Checker just walks in the hotel. It's like, yeah, whatever. So while Mike's talking with him, I go over to the computer and search. It's like, yeah, he actually is. He was the first of these celebrity performances that we started bringing out to these shows. And every year we've obviously done pretty well with bringing new people out. A lot of retro artists, one-hit wonders from the past, Chubby Checker being the ultimate, way back artist. Yeah. But we've done pretty good with it. And this year we've actually brought someone pretty darn current, as we'll get to a little bit later. Yeah. The show's gone nuts. I mean, we put a lot more into the show for both competitive nature and also people expect a little bit more out of us now. Mm-hmm. And with last year's conference, we turned up the production value of it to what a DJ conference should be, because that's what DJs do. And it was impressive, as more than a couple of people said.
Oh, for sure. It was definitely an impressive year last year. You're kind of starting to go into the direction I wanted to talk about is comparing the DJs that we have coming to these shows and their expectations when we're talking to them in a hallway or even online, what they're looking for now compared to what you and I were looking for when we first started going to conventions. What are you seeing from differences from then to now?
An expectation of there both being 101 level material and 201, 301 level material. They don't want to just see their colleagues, the guy who from wherever, coming out and speaking to them. They want to have interaction back and forth with them. They want to see people from outside the industry throwing a curveball at them so that they think about their business a little bit differently. Before I went to one of these conferences back in 97, I was doing pretty darn good. I ran a multi-op DJ service doing $150,000 a year out of little Des Moines, Iowa. And yeah, in the market, I was either number 2 or number 3 person. But when I got to these shows, I realized I was nothing compared to the people that are out there. At the time, there's people doing $1 million a year in business. Now I know people that do $3, $4, $5 million a year in business in one market. Not even these multi location companies. Mm-hmm. So people are looking for more. They also, because of the bar that's been raised on things, are looking for more in the way of an expo floor, more in the way of nighttime performances. And we feel we've done a pretty good job at serving that need and gotten a lot of feedback on a survey we did last year. I mean, we begged people for information. What else do you want to know? What else do you want us to provide at the shows? And we got a lot of feedback. We've made a lot of changes, a lot of improvements.
Yeah, I think that wanting more, and especially as you mentioned, the different levels now. When we first all went, everything could have been 101 because in many ways it was like this flood of information coming to us, and in many cases things we've never heard of before. So it was like, oh wow! But now, I think because of that, now we're wanting to have that more advanced information available, and it's just kind of a different feel, I think, from what we started out with at the shows.
It's not just adding a game show or adding trivia or karaoke or something like that. It's how do you go beyond that level? Because the competitive nature of DJs, we're ego-driven people. We want to improve ourselves, but we're also proud of what we've done. So it's a neat environment to be at these shows, to be in the hard seminars, the workshops, talk with people in the hallway is an absolute blast.
It is, and I think for those of you who have been to the shows, and you've met Ryan at the shows, you can really see that he has a passion for the industry, and I think that's carried over, in all the years I've known you, Ryan, from your ProDJ.com days through Mobile Beat and the shows and everything you've done. How do you keep that fire burning for the industry? I mean, you've been a huge proponent for the DJ industry. How do you keep that going?
Well, it's a tough combination. I mean, this is a tough industry to be in. When I purchased Mobile Beat 10 years ago or 9.5 years ago, I really thought the magazine had more to go with it and more life with it. Now, the magazine industry, as both of us are experienced, it's not the only way to find out about products, to learn things, stuff like that. The trade show scene is another fantastic one, but also a lot of people that internet, stuff that's out there, people are learning a ton of stuff with it. So it's a roller coaster up and down, with what's all going on with business. But when it comes down to it, I've got priorities. My priorities pretty much go God, family, and business. And business, is last, but it is a passion of mine. My business is serving the DJ industry and improving our own DJ company lately that Jake Feldman runs. I mean, he's done a fantastic job with our local company, and I've been able to concentrate on the national business. It's a roller coaster, as you know, as I said earlier. It's just keeping up with things. But what really has grounded me on stuff, on these material is last year, what was it? I think the last 2 years, come November, December, I started just calling DJs. I called DJs that had been to our show recently, but had not come out to the show, and just talk to them. Say, what do you want? What can I do to get you out there? When you're so proud of a product that, and my product is Mobile Beat, the trade show, the magazine, the online stuff, you want everybody to see it. Yeah. You want the whole crowd to be out there, as you've experienced with things also. I mean, with the stuff you've done down in Dallas, stuff you've done in Minneapolis, you're amazed. Why isn't there 10,000 people here? There's an estimated 30 to 40,000 mobile DJs out there. Why can't we get a third of them to these things? Mm-hmm. And you just call and ask, what can I do to get you guys there? And you help people out. And that kind of stuff, when they give you feedback of, you mean this is Ryan calling me? It's not a telemarketing company? And so it's like, I've made 150 calls today, and you're the 15th person I've actually talked to. It feels really, really good. I'm a DJ just like you. I'm not on a pedestal by any means. Heck, I don't even like the stage time that I get at Vegas. But I like to talk to people, and I like to help them improve their business.
And I think another part that I hope people take from this is that when you mention your priorities of God first, family, and then business, is that hierarchy is really a way of recharging your battery. When you're putting yourself into that business, and there's times where it feels like you're doing 24/7, that you can step away and have that time with family and just kind of recharge that personal battery and really make things a lot easier to handle on the business side.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big proponent of taking Sundays off whenever I can on stuff and saving God's Day for that and doing extra time with the family. Yeah, I worked for about an hour last night. I came in the office, did a couple things. But having that in my heart and in my soul of who I am really does help. And if you have questions about that kind of stuff, ask me sometime. We can sit and talk casually about non-DJ stuff anytime you want to.
Yep. And that's one of the things I really appreciate about our relationship is that we can talk DJ stuff, but we can talk about non-DJ stuff and comfortable sharing and things back and forth. And that's just a wonderful gift for those of us in the industry who know you, Ryan.
Very cool. Very cool.
But let's talk about the thing people want to know the most about. We've got the show coming up.
We saved this for the end, didn't we?
Exactly, we did. We saved the best part for the end. This is something that's been in the works, obviously, for a long time, 20 years. Take us through what's going to be happening in March.
We'll just go day by day. Sunday night, we've never had a welcome to Las Vegas before anything starts kind of event. We're putting together some neat stuff with the people from Silent Disco, the people from the San Diego DJ Association, and we're doing what's the best way? Welcome to Las Vegas. We're going to have 2 DJs spinning nice and cranked up loud, but it'll be cranked up loud in your Silent Disco headphones. At the same time, people will be able to network and meet each other and pick up their passes for the show, so they don't have to wait in that excessively long line on Monday morning. Going on also on Sunday and Monday, there's some people doing some seminars and workshops, extra stuff that's being done with our endorsement and working with us, but not part of the main vibe. As of noon or so, the main room will open up and people will be able to come in and seminars will start. I mean, we'll start out with Matt Radicelli doing some neat material. He hasn't presented on the big stage before with us. I don't think on any of the big stages of the national conferences. Go through that whole day. The guys from DigiGames are doing an event at night, and the DJ Takeover. The DJ Takeover has been a neat event. I assume you've stopped by the Takeover before?
Oh, yes.
It's a neat environment. PV, Omez Lighting, and Pioneer have come together on it with a couple other sponsors still to be announced. And that's going to take people till 2 o'clock in the morning. I will probably last till 9 or 10.
I will make it.
I will stop by and see that it's jamming and hear it outside my hotel room. Rewind. We're at the Tropicana, in case you haven't heard. I know you've heard, John.
Yep.
It's been a move we've been trying to do for a couple of years. And as soon as we got out of our contract with the Riviera, and it helped that they decided to tear down the Riviera, we moved to the Tropicana. I'll be up in that tower right behind, looking down out the window. I can see in the pool area the DJ Takeover going on, and it'll be nice to hear it turn off. That means my responsibility is over.
So starting on Sunday the 14th, there will be the things in the evening. Then Monday the 15th, noon, the doors will open. Now, where's the seminar in relation to the exhibit hall? Is that all in the same vicinity?
It's all in the same ballpark. For those of you that remember the show from when it was there back, 12 plus years ago, it's down in the pavilion area, back past the club, around the club tower, and the place has been finished off amazingly. The whole hotel has. Mm-hmm. This convention center space, we're going to be down there. It's going to be beautiful. Jason Jani, Jake Feldman, and Jeremy Breck, and the whole gang with Evie and Chevet involvement are going to put together a produced show just like we did last year. If you haven't seen the videos of it, check it out online.
Nice.
Seminars are all stacked up, a little bit of Electro Voice stuff. The DigiGames thing I mentioned, the DJ Takeover, pretty much covers Monday. We're working on having some networking events for breakfast on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday morning. There's some other stuff happening, but essentially then we go into seminars in the morning, Expo 4 in the afternoon, demo rooms, and the Tuesday night event will be Party Rocking at Mobile Beat Vegas. This is where we brought out Red Foo of LFMAO. He's going to bring his party scene that he's had at various hotels in Las Vegas and toured with, and we're going to have an absolute blast with him. He's actually giving a seminar on how to party rock. It should be very interesting, educational.
I saw that, and it's like, that's going to be just something to experience, and how he interprets that and puts it all together.
I did an interview with him about a month ago, right before we signed on with bringing him on, and afterwards I was talking to him, said, by the way, we do this thing. Are you have any interest? It's like, yeah, I want to do a seminar at it. It's like, well, I was kind of thinking about you performing, but we could do both.
Right.
So, it's going to be interesting. That's the short version of Tuesday. Short version of Wednesday. Seminars in the morning. John Taffer coming from Bar Rescue and going to talk about experience marketing. The short version of it, again, interview due to be published really soon. The short version of it is you can buy a beer for any price. You can buy a beer for $1 at the grocery store. You can buy a beer for $5 at the local bar. You can buy a beer for $10 at a club, or you can buy a beer for $20 at a club owned by Steve Wynn. So it's all about the experience that you have around it. Same thing with disc jockeys.
Very much so.
You're party rocking on your iPod. You can hear it on the radio. You can hear it in a jukebox. You can hear it from an average mobile DJ, and you can hear it from an amazing mobile DJ. So he's been able to relate that stuff completely.
Nice.
Thanks. Expo 4 open on Wednesday. That's their last chance to buy anything really cool or talk to industry members. And we're still working on Wednesday night's events. Thursday seminars and wrap things up. I mean, there's all kinds of details in all the presenters. I've only mentioned 3 of them. Yeah. But you can look that up yourself.
Exactly. And if they want to go out and take a look at the information, we'll have the link in the description below, but that link would be
mobilebeatlasvegas.com. And if you're attending the show, make sure to pull down the app We've got a fantastic app that we had developed. There's some neat detail in there on stuff. And we've actually been releasing some of the extra cool things in the app first so that we can get people to install the app, pretty much.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. I'll have to get on that. I have not done that.
It's going to be a fantastic show. There's a couple other events going on Thursday afternoon into Friday with people doing workshops in coordination with us. I know Randy Bartlett's got some stuff going on with the guys at PhDJ, who I understand also write for yourself on some stuff, have got a workshop on there. You can check out all the info on those at Mobile Beat Las Vegas.
Oh, very nice. So they can see all the different things that are available. That's very cool.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing now. 20th anniversary show. Don't know what we're going to do for the 21st anniversary, but we're always working on it. So if you've got ideas, please bring it to us. We want to hear about it. I mean, if you know John better, pass it by him. Me and John talk on a regular basis on stuff, and he's been involved in a ton of these things. But we want to hear your ideas, whether you're at the show or not. Anything to get you to the show or make your experience better.
Yeah. Well, and as you mentioned, going into 2017, that's one of the things, because both of us, a part of our jobs is to look into that crystal ball and try to predict where things are going and what things are going to do. So let's kind of wrap things up here, Ryan, with kind of discussing, where we see the industry going and maybe some things that will be affecting that the average DJ might see, in the next coming couple of years.
Wow. Well, we had that whole MP3 thing that's become popular in the last 10 years. So that's I don't know too much.
I wonder if that's actually going to cause a stir in the industry. Maybe not.
Yeah. I was looking at some old Mobile Beat issues, which are getting put online real soon, and there was an article written about 10 years ago about how we're going to be able to download our music when we're at a gig and play it on the fly. If Bright asks for a song, you don't have to run to the CD store. Mm-hmm. It's kind of cool. I think the bar is going to continue to be raised for DJs. The separation between a newbie and an experienced professional is going to get wider. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer, kind of a vibe like in economics.
Yes.
Because it's just a fact of business. There's so much utilities out there to make us do much more with our talents, that it's not about just mixing from CD to CD. Even if you're beat mixing and doing whatever, it's about the whole package of what you're doing with taking care of stuff. And a lot of things have been happening with that recently. How's that hit you?
I think you're right on with that. I think that the idea that a person is going to have to practice and get some training to really improve that tool that is you, or that instrument that is you, compared to when you and I first started out. If we could just not have dead air, we were successful. And I think those days are long gone. And yes, there's always going to be, for those out there, we hate these, they're really low dollar. They're always going to be there. And to a point, there is still going to be that race to zero. But I think there's going to be this big gap between that and those who are more serious about it. And as more people are seeing the serious people, DJs in the industry who are out there putting on good shows, I think you're going to have, what people are striving for, and what some people will settle for just because of price or whatever. So I think there's definitely going to be two different camps when it comes to that.
It goes back to 15 years ago with Mark Farrell. Remember all the different names of what he listed on there? That we're a lighting technician, we're a sound technician, we're the maitre d' in some form. We're a DJ too.
Yeah.
All those different things are becoming an expectation of someone that wants to hire a DJ that's not just looking at the commodity of a DJ. When you're a commodity, like here in the Midwest, corn is a commodity. Yes, there's different varieties and stuff with it, but when someone buys corn, you buy a canned corn. You don't ask what it was, and you buy it for 59 cents.
Yeah.
You don't want to be a commodity. If someone just wants to hire a DJ, they're going to pay $500 for it, and they're going to get a glorified jukebox that can make announcements.
Yeah.
And the differentiation there, the technology is allowing us to be able to do that a lot more. With the computers pre-programming stuff and organizing stuff, we're getting out there a lot more with stuff. The national industry, I'm looking forward to it coming more together. All the players in the industry working together, and we're getting a lot more of that actually, literally in the last couple of weeks. I mean, there's been some breakthroughs with that stuff. Again, because of who we are and the jobs that we have, it's been tough over the last 10 years for industry members to work together. And some nice breakthroughs are happening there.
Yeah, and that's something I think that's going to be really important as we go forward, because it is, as much as we like to, that it's a growing industry. The DJ is kind of a finite group, and splintering it off in 10 different ways and having all these different things, is really difficult. Whereas if we can work together to improve the industry, I think in the long run it's going to be better off for everyone.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully some great conversations will come up between players and that. And as I've told people before, I found out when I was making some of those phone calls, people that had an issue with Mobile Beat in the past. If you have an issue with myself, bring it to me. If it, because I was able to bring some people back to the show. It's just like, no, this is what I thought, that you thought, that we thought, that who thought.
Exactly.
And let's work together. Let's sit and talk a little bit. So, if anybody has issues, talk to the person. Don't hold it in.
Yep.
That anger is corrupting, sort of like in the Sith in Star Wars. And I won't go there.
It took us this long to get a Star Wars reference in. I'm surprised.
I'm a Trekkie too, so looking forward to that movie coming out on Thursday.
It took us that long. We were in 20-some minutes before we actually made a reference to it.
Yeah. Don't let the dark side get inside of you and corrupt who you are. Yeah, okay, whatever.
There you go. And again, as you say, get a hold of you, and you've been very, very open. If people want to send you an email, your email address is all over where people can find it and pop a message over to you and talk, because misunderstandings happen. And I know there've been times where people have interpreted things one way or the other or are going off false information that didn't. Nothing was there. So it's best to talk and find out what's going on.
If you're more of a Facebook person, do it that way. If you want to do email, do it that way. But in the end, I like to talk to you on the phone, and I'd like to buy you a soda.
Yep, there you go. That's for sure. Well, great stuff, Ryan. I appreciate your time today. I'm looking forward to March. That'll be, March 14th through the 17th. Is that correct?
Most people will recommend you come in on the 13th and leave on the 18th, because you want to be there for the whole 4-day spread and not be crashed in your room. Host.
Exactly. Yeah, that's one of the things that this year, actually, I've been talking to Lori, and I'm going to be coming in early for the first time in a number of years, just because it works into my schedule. Yay! But I'm tired of coming in and flying in and then trying to hit the ground running, at 1,000,000 miles an hour, because there's just so much going on, so many people, and I don't want to miss anything. So,
yeah, we'll both be short on sleep a little bit just because we're busy with everything. But looking forward to seeing all of you there.
Yeah, it'll be a great time. So we'll put all those links in the description below, so you guys can go check that out, and hopefully we'll get to see you in Las Vegas, March 14th through the 17th at Mobile Beat Las Vegas. Once again, Ryan, thank you for joining me tonight.
Thanks.
This is John Young with the Disc Jockey News and Disc Jockey News TV. Good night.